The first thing anyone noticed was the silence. Not the peaceful kind, but the heavy, abandoned quiet that hangs in places people forgot. Inside a crumbling warehouse near the shoreline, a blindfolded Navy SEAL sat bound to a chair, his uniform torn, his breathing slow but stubborn. And beside him, a stray German shepherd with dust on its fur and fire in its eyes refused to leave. No one knew where the dog came from. No one knew how it found him. But what happened next would shake the entire Navy to its core and remind the world that loyalty sometimes comes from the most unexpected places. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet power of compassion, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel so more stories like this can reach hearts everywhere. Weeks earlier, the SEAL had vanished during a covert coastal mission that went terribly wrong. His team searched relentlessly, helicopters slicing through the sky, divers combing the waterline, analysts replaying grainy footage over and over. Every passing day drained hope from the command center. His name slowly shifted from missing to presumed lost, a phrase that carried a weight heavier than any battlefield gear. Meanwhile, the dog wandered the outskirts of a small harbor town, surviving on scraps and instinct. Locals described it as watchful and unusually calm, often sitting near the sea as if waiting for someone who never arrived. No one could have predicted that the dog's path would cross with the wounded soldier in an abandoned building miles from where the last signal had been traced. The SEAL had been left behind by unknown captors, injured and disoriented, his training the only thing keeping him alive. The blindfold blocked his vision, but he sensed movement long before he heard the faint shuffle of paws. The dog approached cautiously, sniffing the ropes and the faint scent of salt water and exhaustion clinging to him. It didn't bark or growl. Instead, it rested a paw gently against his shoulder, a quiet reassurance in a dark room filled with uncertainty. Hours turned into a fragile routine. The stray dog came and went, sometimes returning with small bits of food scavenged from nearby trash bins. It nudged them toward the soldier, patiently waiting as he struggled to eat. The animal's loyalty seemed to grow with every passing moment, as if it understood the urgency of keeping him alive. Outside, storms rolled in, rattling broken windows and sending rainwater sliding across the concrete floor. Yet the dog never abandoned its post. In the stillness of the night, it curled near him, sharing warmth in a place that felt forgotten by the world. Back at the naval base, frustration mounted. The search teams had exhausted nearly every lead, and morale began to crack under the pressure. Commanders debated whether to scale back operations, weighed down by the grim reality that time was running out. But then an unexpected tip reached them from a fisherman who claimed to have seen a large German shepherd pacing near an old warehouse, barking toward the sea at dawn each day. It sounded insignificant, almost absurd, yet something about the detail lingered. A small reconnaissance unit was sent to check, driven by little more than fading hope. Inside the warehouse, the bond between man and dog deepened without words. The SEAL, though weak, slowly regained clarity. He felt the dog's presence as a lifeline, a reminder that he wasn't alone. When the ropes chafed his wrists, the dog gently pawed at them, as if searching for a way to help. The soldier's breathing steadied whenever the animal leaned against him, grounding him through pain and uncertainty. In those quiet moments, the world beyond the walls felt distant, but the connection between them grew stronger with every heartbeat. When the Navy team finally arrived, guided by the persistent barking echoing through the empty structure, they found a scene none of them would ever forget. The stray German shepherd stood alert near the entrance, refusing to move until the rescuers approached carefully. As they stepped inside, flashlights cutting through the dim air, the dog led them straight to the bound soldier. For a second, the room felt frozen in time, disbelief mixing with relief. The SEAL was alive, barely conscious but breathing, and the dog remained beside him as if guarding a sacred promise. News of the rescue spread quickly across the base. Medics worked tirelessly to stabilize the soldier, while officers gathered details about how he had survived so long. Every report included the same unexpected hero, a stray dog with no collar, no known owner, and an unwavering sense of purpose. Some described it as coincidence, others as instinct, but many felt it was something deeper. The Navy, known for discipline and precision, found itself moved by a story that no training manual could explain. As the soldier recovered, he learned about the dog's role in his survival. Photographs circulated through the command center, showing the animal sitting calmly beside him even as rescue crews worked around them. The bond between them became a symbol of resilience, reminding seasoned warriors that strength often comes from compassion. The dog was eventually brought onto the base for evaluation, where trainers discovered its remarkable intelligence and calm temperament. What began as a stray's desperate search for connection turned into an opportunity for healing, not only for one man but for an entire community. Days later, during a quiet ceremony, the Navy honored the rescue team, but the loudest applause came when the German Shepherd walked onto the platform, tail wagging gently as cameras flashed. The moment felt surreal, a blend of humility and gratitude. Sailors who had faced countless challenges found themselves emotional, realizing that sometimes the greatest acts of courage come without rank or recognition. The dog became a symbol of loyalty beyond duty, a reminder that even in the harshest circumstances, kindness can rewrite the ending of a story. If this story is touching your heart right now, pause for a second and leave a comment sharing where you're watching from or what part moved you the most. Your support helps keep stories of hope alive and inspires more people to believe in unexpected heroes. In the weeks that followed, the soldier slowly returned to strength, often seen walking across the base with the German Shepherd by his side. Their connection was quiet but powerful, a bond forged in silence and survival. Fellow service members began to view the dog not just as a rescued stray but as a guardian who refused to give up when the world almost did. The Navy, inspired by the story, launched a small initiative to support rescue animals and explore their potential roles in emotional recovery programs for veterans. What started as a single act of loyalty rippled outward, changing lives far beyond that abandoned warehouse. As the sun set on a calm evening near the sea, the soldier and the dog stood side by side, watching waves roll toward the shore. The air carried a sense of closure, but also of new beginnings. Neither of them had expected to find purpose in each other, yet their journey proved that sometimes the greatest rescues happen when two lost souls meet at the exact moment they need hope the most. The Navy, hardened by years of discipline, found itself united by a story that softened even the toughest hearts. And if this story inspired you or reminded you that compassion still exists in this world, please take a moment now to like, share, and subscribe so more people can experience stories that bring light into dark places. Because sometimes, the smallest acts of loyalty create the strongest waves of change, and sometimes a stray dog can teach an entire navy what it truly means to never leave anyone behind.